Redlationship fam! How was your day? I'm Frank, and I'm turning up the volume because today's Reddit stories are absolute bangers that you need to hear. Tune in by hitting subscribe and smashing that like button. Let's blast the story! So today's story comes from the RelationshipAdvice subreddit. It begins with the title, "My husband left me after almost 15 years together and wants me to forget and let him come home. What are my next steps to stop that?" My husband and I have been married for nearly 2 years, but we've actually been together for almost 15. He is really the only serious long-term boyfriend I've ever had in my adult life, and we share 2 children. To be honest, our relationship was rocky from the start, though the last 3 years had been mostly great. I felt like the turning point happened after he got blackout drunk at a friend's wedding. I was the sober driver taking him and his friend home, and he spent the entire hour-and-a-half drive screaming nasty things at me. Since that incident, things had been pretty decent. I've been working on myself, losing weight, putting more effort into my appearance, and making new friends. Then, about 5 months ago, he woke up one day and told me he wasn't happy with his life or with me, and he wanted to leave. Shortly after, he decided he was wrong and didn't want to leave after all. Not to drag this out too much, but here is a highlight reel of the last 5 months. He has left me 4 or 5 times, only to come back every single time saying he's sorry. He gets unhappy whenever I go out for dinner or to see my girlfriends. He got blackout drunk again and behaved horrendously towards me. I can't really go into the specific details on this thread. That same night, there was severe drama with his family. I'm now being painted as the villain for telling them that his behavior is disgusting, especially since our 2 children were asleep in their beds while everything was happening. He has called me every name under the sun, often doing so right in front of our children. He has accused me multiple times of having affairs, despite having absolutely no grounds for suspicion. I didn't realize until now that a few of these things can't be discussed in detail here. His excuse is that he doesn't feel loved enough by me, claiming I'm not affectionate enough. But honestly, it's hard to be affectionate towards someone who is treating you like dirt. I'm receiving very little support from family, and they're making me feel guilty for breaking our family up if I don't just let him come back home. But I know he's never going to change. I guess I'm just looking for some validation and support that I'm making the right decision, because everyone keeps telling me I'm wrong. What are my next steps to stay strong in my decision not to take him back? And how do I try to establish a healthy co-parenting relationship for our children? Oh dear. To be honest, I really don't think OP should ever let that guy back into the house. It's so clear that this relationship is just toxic. From what OP said, he's constantly ghosting her, treating her like trash, and accusing her of cheating for no reason. I mean, he's even saying those nasty things right in front of the kids. That's just unacceptable. If this keeps going, it's going to be really dangerous for those 2 kids. They don't deserve to grow up with a father like that. OP, you've got to think long and hard about this. Don't let your family get inside your head and make you feel like you're the one breaking up the family. You aren't doing anything wrong here, at all. A commenter said to OP, "Say no and keep saying no. Find an attorney and keep all conversations between the lawyers. File for immediate custody pending the divorce and separate your finances. Do exactly what the lawyer says. Taking action is the first and best step to staying strong. Separate finances first thing. Make it happen tomorrow." The OP replied, "To be honest, I don't even know where to start when it comes to separating our finances. Everything we own is basically tied up in our business." Another said, "Imagine if your daughter was going through exactly that. What would you advise her? Please divorce him." The other express, "His behavior is absolutely diabolical. and you deserve better. Kick his volatile butt out and change those locks. You are not the source of his unhappiness, even though he'd rather blame you than actually fix himself. The frequency of him getting blackout drunk is just not safe for you or your children. Seek legal counsel, open a bank account in your own name, transfer 50% of the balance, and kick him out, citing safety concerns for you and the kids. A bit over 2 weeks later, OP came back with an update. I just want to thank you to everyone for all of your responses. I can't tell you how much they've helped me through this time. Every time I was struggling, I went back and looked at them all. I want to address a few things mentioned in the comments and then give an update. I have spent the last few weeks really thinking about our relationship and the dynamics, and honestly, it is difficult and embarrassing to think I have allowed this for so long. To give some background on our relationship and my life, we started seeing each other at 15. On reflection, I can see that he was pressuring me even back then to do what he wanted, like pressuring me into losing my virginity when I didn't want to, but thankfully a friend intervened. I also grew up in a house filled with domestic violence and an extended family that was very dysfunctional due to trauma. Around the time we first met, my stepdad, who raised me, told me his new partner didn't like me calling him Dad. She was turning my bedroom at his house into her spare room for when her family visited. It essentially ended with him abandoning his role in my life. The night we started dating at 17 was, in hindsight, deeply troubling. We were at a local function and had snuck away to spend time together. When we came back, our mutual friends were laughing about it, and he started screaming at me in front of everyone, accusing me of hooking up with his friend when I knew he liked me. He called me a bitch. I followed him out to apologize. I have no idea what I was apologizing for now, and somehow ended up in a relationship with him. He also habitually lied to me about using illicit substances throughout the years. He knew it was a hard limit for me because a relative had passed away from an overdose. He caused breakdowns in my friendships because friends would tell me he was using. He would deny it and claim they were lying, and I would end up arguing with them. He finally admitted 2 years ago that he lied because he could see my viewpoint had changed. Our relationship was great for the last 2 or 3 years, but on reflection, I realized it was because I was just being more obedient. I was basically a married, single mom, handling everything at home, working in our business, and being the primary parent. Okay, now for the main part. I saw everyone's comments about leaving him and getting a divorce. That is definitely my plan, but I'm trying to be smart about everything and not rush it on impulse. After my last post, I did cave to his pressure and allowed him another chance. I told him I was going to visit my friend's new apartment and go for dinner. He lost it and tried to forbid me from going. I told him I wasn't asking for permission, just letting him know. He was yelling in front of our children that I either act like a wife or he's leaving right now. I was overwhelmed and just trying to get him to stop, so I agreed. He also admitted to going through my phone because he didn't trust me. But shock and horror, a week later he left again. So currently, we are not together. He keeps apologizing, saying he loves me and regrets the things he said. He keeps asking if I'm done or if I want to be with him. I reminded him that he left. I said without real changed behavior, I'm not willing to be together, and I know he won't do that because I now realize he is likely a narcissist. In the meantime, I've been recording many of our conversations. I'm meeting with a lawyer and a counselor and trying to get the house ready for sale without it being obvious. I also forwarded our business financial documents to a separate email in case he restricts access. His work email is on my computer, and I saw a password change email from Snapchat. Not a huge deal, I guess, but I'm pretty confident there is either another girl involved or he's having casual sex. If there's anything else I should be doing, or any thoughts you have, I'd love to hear it. Thank you all again. One person said to OP below, OP, You should take your electronics to Geek Squad and your car to a mechanic to have them checked for a GPS, tracking devices, or spyware. I would also open a new bank account at a bank different from any bank you use as a couple. Even if you do not have joint accounts, I would want a separate account at a bank he does not know about. I would also run my credit report and keep a close watch on it, as well as any accounts you share. And OP expressed, the family violence helpline in my area offers help with this, so I was going to be looking into it this week. Thank you. Just 16 days later, OP continued update. It said, "Hi everyone. I wanted to post an update for all of you who gave me advice in my previous posts and helped me get through this really difficult time. My soon-to-be ex-husband has been gone from our home for 2 weeks now. It's been a crazy 2 weeks filled with crash-outs, love bombing, and everything in between. But I've held firm. I told him I am completely out of the relationship and that I want a divorce. I've bought new security cameras for the time being, but I really want to sell our house and buy my own place as soon as possible. However, I know separating our finances is going to be incredibly difficult. I know I'm only at the very beginning of this journey, but I'm feeling so proud of myself and strong in my resolution. And honestly, I haven't even missed him once yet. I finally feel free. The kids and I can be at home and do whatever we feel like without worrying if he'll have a problem with it. There's no more yelling at home. It's just peaceful. So thank you again for your advice. I probably won't have another update, but thank you all. If you have any tips or tricks for negotiating custody agreements and divorce, that would be great. I can't tell you how much you all helped me push through the hardest part of this." A commenter said, "Please, please do not cave in to his excuses or his love bombing. He is never going to change, no matter what he says or promises. I have read your other posts, and honestly, he sounds like a total piece of shit. You and your kids will be so much better off without him and his constant screaming, anger, and abuse. Focus on yourself and your kids now. You should be very proud of yourself for moving on. I know it is scary and hard, but it will be so worth it. Best of luck and a happy future for you and your children." And OP replied, "I absolutely will not. It's crazy how much you really see when you take off the rose-colored glasses. Thank you. It is a bit scary and definitely hard, but God, has it been worth it." Another said, "I'm so proud of you, stranger. Stay strong and do not let him ever again. Your children and your future self will thank you. Good luck." And OP said, "Thank you so much." I have to say, this is exactly how you take back control of your life. I mean, this guy spent 15 years making OP's life a living hell. From screaming in her face when she was just a teenager to lying about drugs and everything else. It's clear he never wanted a real partner. He just wanted someone submissive he could control like a servant. But man, the way OP secretly gathered those financial papers, hired a lawyer, and set up security cameras? That was a brilliant move. Watching her break that cycle with her toxic husband just to give her kids a peaceful home, that is incredibly brave. OP, stay strong and stand your ground. It might take a while to get used to your new life, but this is exactly what you and your kids deserve. Trust me. Now it's your turn. What do you think about all of this? Let me know down in the comments below. All right, I just want to say thank you guys so much for being here today with Frank. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.